You Tim, it's Brad Phillips. Look at this. We've got the Arrma Senton 4x2 boost. This one is totally stock. We're running the nickel metal hydrate battery, and we're gonna show you how amazing it is right now. It's supposed to go 30 miles an hour stock. Very good discrete control so far, as you can see. A little bit or a lot, doesn't matter. And I don't know if we can ramp this. Probably can. Oh yeah. That is pretty amazing for totally bone stock. Oh yeah, that's pretty amazing. Okay, good. Well, we weren't sure what to expect because this is a two-wheel drive. It's a 2x4, and there are gonna be upgrades. There's your brakes and reverse. This thing is very eager to move. And I can definitely say that with four-wheel drive, this thing would be insane. And yes, there is a four-wheel drive upgrade kit, but for now, we just wanted to show you what it looks like. Totally bone stock. Really nice.
The braking is good.
I didn't even brake. That's what braking. Oh. The braking definitely gets it out of control. And I don't want to tear up our own yard because this thing is so dang eager. Let's go through this big bump. Oh yeah, it does it great. Now let's run up front and just show them some asphalt, or excuse me, pavement driving. Let's see if we can actually get it under control, Brian. Look like Dukes of Hazzard here doing donuts. It's really fun to drive, I gotta say. The thing is very fast. And to be honest with you, it's fast, but it's also not out of control. It's like fun, crazy fast, but still not out of control. And that's something I like a lot, because bashers are fun, but if they're just totally out of control all the time, it can be really kind of almost dangerous for your kids. So as you can see, it's pretty eager. Let's try this. Oh yeah. This is the hay grass here. So as you can see, it even makes it through the hay grass. That stuff is hard for my, my zero turn to make it through, let alone a radio controlled car with small wheels. So really happy with that performance so far. The reverse is quite a little bit slower. Oh, I was afraid I was gonna hit that tree. And then the camera crew like literally blocked my view as she went by. That was crazy. Okay, into the mud. Oh yeah, booyah. So I wanna try to not muck it up completely, so I probably should be a little bit careful how I do this, but it's kind of hard to resist. As you can see, it's definitely juicy down there, guys. We've just gotten out of our snow, but as you can see, the thing gets up and out, no problem at all. And remember, we're not even on a lipo yet. Oh no! Oh, I hit a rock or something. Let's see how bad it really is, guys. That thing's stuck. It's around the backside of the bumper. Okay, so let's see what we did here. Oh, we're still alive. I think everybody survived. Just a little bit of mud. All right, guys, just getting the hands cleaned off. Here we go. Oh yeah, right there, guys. Look at this. Oh, that is incredible, guys. Gotta love it, guys. I flew off of the hill into that tree. Now that hill doesn't have enough material to hold me up, let alone this car. So I gotta say, folks, amazing performance by this little Arrma. And what I wanna do is I wanna just shoot right off of here, but I wanna do it in such a way that I don't destroy the car. So let's see if we can do this. Oh, that's so much fun. This is by far the most capable one we've had that's in terms of bashers. Because have we had anything that would go up hills like this?
I don't think we've had anything that's gotten out of this side of the ditch.
Never.
Ever.
That is a pretty incredible ditch right there, guys.
I mean, I can't get out of that ditch.
I mean, I have a few different products that might be able to get me out of that ditch, like namely the tractor, but not even my personal vehicle would do that. And I love the way that it's easy to fishtail and it's easy to recover. You want to give it a shot?
Oh.
Camera crew's taking over for a minute. As you may notice, the camera quality is getting terrible.
Say I would get out of the way.
Beautiful. So guys, if you haven't ever experienced a fast radio controlled car, get ready for this. This thing is so much fun. Of course, my camera crew is a little bit more timid than I.
Also known as a terrible driver.
Hey, don't get run over by a car standing in the middle of the road there, camera crew.
Okay, fine. Can I drive it down there?
You can drive down there. Just
Here.
go over right here.
No, I don't want to break it.
Oh, you want to go down the easy way. I see.
Sort of.
Oh, geez, you about crashed into a tree there. I only do that on purpose for our videos, right?
Right, yeah.
Try not to tear up the dirt because
because
you're not the one that has to fix all that stuff. Hey, I'm gonna go down here. Let's go down here. This is super juicy here, guys. I'm gonna run. There it is, guys. Oh yeah. It's a little soft down here, a little juicy. So the camera crew has made their triumphant return from the garage. Oh, what? Okay, hold on. Here, let me get you out of trouble here. Okay, so guys, I must say it's very juicy over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take it around, get some speed up, and then we're gonna walk down here and we're gonna walk the dog. It's super fun to walk the dog, and if you know what I mean, the dog is the radio controlled car. It's really fun, but we gotta see where the high points are and then avoid walking in the low points because it's all this melt has been just in the last couple of days. So if you're looking for something that'll go running on the trails with you, this thing is it. I haven't flipped it one time and I've crashed into a tree so far. Hey, but seriously though, if it's running for you and like you're not sure I'm gonna get stopped, make sure you move,
I'll move.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because it'll hurt you.
I'll move.
Let's go right up here. Booyah! Guys, this thing is a blast. I can't believe how fast it is. Can you imagine how much more crazy it's gonna be on 4S? Or not 4S, but four-wheel drive. Sorry guys, this is a 2S if you're going LiPo. And by the way, we do have a 5,000 milliamp LiPo smart pack. That's so cool, shooting all that ice and stuff. This has gotta be the most exciting dog we've ever walked.
It is.
Okay, here we go, let's come back. See how fast it really is. Up to 30 miles an hour. I believe that's on pavement, folks. Because that's definitely not 30 right now, but it's pretty amazing. I hear grinding. I think I hear grinding. Do you hear it? Oh, I think we're good now.
Stick?
Yeah, maybe I had a stick under there. Oh yeah, that's a stump. Try not to tear up everything as I go.
I know.
Because unlike you guys in the video, I have to fix all this stuff after I screwed up. There we go. Now, I must say, the battery is, oh, are you kidding me? Oh. Is that already dead? I think we might already be dead, guys. That's crazy. I feel like that went so fast, however long it was.
8 minutes.
8 minutes?
Well, you're
That's not so bad. I was being really mean to it. Okay, now there is a handle here too, by the way. The handle's right here. There is definitely a stick around it. Yeah, we got some stuff on there.
A little bit.
Yep.
You're dead.
So it's dead, guys. So all I got to say is that was pretty exciting for 8 minutes. It was good 8 minutes. And I guess if I have to pick between a good 8 minutes and a lame 8 minutes or a lame 15 minutes, I will take a good 8 minutes because that thing is fun and it is really capable. And I can't wait to see what it'll do with LiPos, and I can't wait to see what it'll do with four-wheel drive. But for now, if you guys want to see how it came out of the box, stay tuned. We're going to unbox it right now. If you want to help support the channel, buy these amazing things from the links in the video description below. We've been asking you a long time to do that, and that's the #1 way you can support us financially. But if you want to be a Patreon because you can't buy from the links for whatever reason, then we got links down below for that. And also we have links for our PayPal as well. And so if you like another product we reviewed recently and you can't find it, check out brianphillipsrc.com and you can find whatever it is you're looking for, whether it's a ground vehicle or something else. And I'm just looking, I do have a red light on. I am pulling the trigger. And here's the other telltale sign. Turn your wheel. As soon as that happens, you pretty much know you're in low voltage cutoff. And so that's where we are now. And I'm super disappointed because I want to keep driving. This is so much fun. Stay tuned, guys. So much more from Brian Phillips RC. YouTube, Brian Phillips. We have box. Something new, something exciting. Should be pretty obvious what it is from the box. but we're gonna find out how good it really is. And that is what we do here on Brian Phillips RC. So we're gonna bring you some ground vehicles here, and awesome, look at this. We have some sort of a card here. It says start your journey here, faster, tough. Okay, so there's upgrade stuff, and they're gonna share about the upgrades for that. All right, here we go. So let's show you what it looks like. Amazing. Super cool. So this is a Senton. It's a 4x2 by default, and then there are some upgrades available, but this does come ready to run. And Camera Crew is gonna try to keep me accountable as I tell you details, because I seem to get them wrong sometimes. Oh yeah, here we go, guys. All right, so let's pop this lid off. Oh, tape shut. Okay, so it shows right on the side here all the different upgrades. So evidently you can go from 4x2 to 4x4, which is pretty sweet. And you can go from brush to, eventually we're gonna go to brushless, right? Is that right? Okay, and then obviously you can go with a lipo, or is it a NiCad pack? Is that what it is?
I think this one includes...
It's got a picture of it right there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That looks so sweet. Okay, let's get this back here. So we've got the green one, it looks like. So the one on the lid is blue, and then I think there's also a gray color.
No, I think this one's just blue or green.
Blue and green?
Yep.
Okay. Then there's a box. So as per usual, we're gonna open the boring stuff first in the unbox. Looks like the boring stuff is probably gonna consist of the pistol style grip, transmitter. It's got a bind plug, 50, 75, 100. That's the throttle, and I can't say throttle limit, steering. There's a power button. It's not a momentary push button, it's a spring return. And then steering rates and steering, can't tell. But this is a Spectrum transmitter, SLT2, and it needs some batteries. Now, I'm not sure if those batteries come with it or not. Looks like there's nothing else in the box. So just put that aside for now. And then of course inside of the car, oh yeah, that looked pretty good suspension wise. Okay, so just throw this stuff out of the way, no foam at all. And inside of this bag, we've got, looks like we've got some double A's, 4 double A's, and then a tool, a bunch of different clips, and then it looks like some sort of a card. I'm not sure what that card's for though. We'll find out. All right, so here we go. We got a manual, of course. Manual here. We got inside of here, oh, this is a charger. That's an S100, I think. So this would be like a smart charger, if I recall right. Okay. So there you go. So you got USB-A to USB-C. And this, of course, is going to hook up to the provided charger. Now, you do have to provide your AC adapter to USB, and that's an S120. I misspoke here just a second ago. So we're gonna go ahead and plug this in and see what we get out of it. Now this, of course, is pretty simple stuff. It's got different light conditions on there that tell you what's going on for feedback. And then what is this thing?
I don't know.
Faster, tougher, upgrades and support. So you can scan that for upgrades and support. We'll put it back here with the other little card that came with it. And then also inside of here, we've got tools. Looks like a nut driver, another nut driver, a bigger nut driver, and then a couple of different Allen hex keys. And what's this here? Can't tell what that is. Some sort of a prying tool. Must be for taking those fittings out. And then it comes with 4 double A's. So let's go ahead and get those into the transmitter, which is really nice. When you get it ready to run from Horizon, they usually come with everything you need. Sometimes the cheaper Chinese offerings don't. So plus on this side, so the near side goes up, and then minus goes up there. So real simple stuff. Snap that down. Looks like our power turned on immediately. I'm gonna shut that back off, but you can see there's a red glowing light. Bind plug, bag, extra goodies. All right, to the part we care about, the car. Amazing. Or in this case, truck, I should say. Oh, this looks so nice. Faster, tougher is what it says. Arrma. And then definitely look at these squishy tires. That is amazing. They do feel like they're pretty firm, actually. Man, those things have something in there to really make them stiff. Oh yeah, it's just it's actually a bigger wheel here. And then it just looks like a thicker sidewall on the inside. And then of course we've got this like synthetic frame. Go ahead and pull the top right off. Retention clips that are made of neoprene, it feels like. So they're neoprene. You don't have to worry about losing them, which is super nice. So we get all 4 of these. We don't have to do any of the body work, which is really nice. It looks sweet. Really like that body on there. Then silver on the bottom, so you get a nice finish. And then if we want to look inside with me here, we'll take a look. So we do have a smart cell. Excuse me, this is 7 cells at 8.4 volts, 3,300 milliamp hour. And there's your part number. This is SPMX33007C3H. We'll link to that. Actually, we'll link to the ready to run that we have here. But then what we'll do is we'll link to the upgrade for that, which would be another 3,300 2S LiPo. And all you have to do to switch that out is, of course, pull this strap and then you can put that in there. And it looks like it's a really easy. They've got a crash guard here. Nice big strengthening mud flaps, which is nice. You'll keep the schmutz out of the inside. Of course, on the back side here, it looks like it's gonna fling mostly backward. And then here's the shaft that's gonna come out of the tranny. And that would eventually go forward to turn it into a 4-wheel drive car. And big oil-filled struts, as you can see. Really nice play on there. Clean action, really like it. And a multi-purpose receiver here. Looks like we have a couple extra channels. There's the bind plug. I don't think we're gonna need the bind plug today because I believe they come bound. But if you would get one and you need to bind, then what you would do is you would basically plug that in and then figure out how to get into bind mode on this. And I do not know how to do that. So I'm sure they've articulated that in the manual. How to. Okay, so this talks about the different tools that are needed. It looks like it's that specialty tool there. That's pretty sweet. So it shows how to put in the 4-wheel drive kit. Holy crap.
Oh man.
It's an exploded view diagram. Okay, so that's nice. And then of course we have the manual here, which is really handy. Looks pretty straightforward. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and lay this aside and see what happens with the charger. Obviously the charger, you have to provide your own USB power supply from AC. So we'll check it right here because then it'll make it real easy because we got an outlet right here. Okay, and then we have just a regular USB power supply. We're gonna plug this in, USB A to USB A. Then we'll find a wall outlet, plug it in. Whoops. Gotta plug it in for real this time, okay? And then what you can see is that goes through a series of different colors. And since this is a smart pack, all you have to do is plug it in. Now, if you don't use this particular charger, then what you can do is you can use an S155 would be a great next step for you. It's real inexpensive. It's got a really nice display on it. Of course, it comes with the plug that goes to the wall. I just had to pick mine up here. And then the thing that's nice about the smaller charger is you can still kind of run this up here inside and charge. Now, ideally, you'll take your battery out each time, but I just know a lot of you guys are not gonna do that, even though you probably should. This has got a yellow flashing light, so that means something. My biggest complaint with the S120 is that it's just kind of like an odd sequence of lights, and that's the only way you know what's going on. And I have no idea what those sequences of lights means because they don't seem to really be super intuitive in my opinion. But yellow would tell me that we're probably dealing with a midway charge point, so why don't we take our XBC battery checker. This is not included with the car, but let's see what we're at. Now remember, the smart data pin, that extra pin in the middle, is gonna pass all sorts of battery data. And as you can see, this is gonna populate itself here in a second, except it won't. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and press this. I'm gonna go to back. I don't see anything going on there. So I wonder if it's just because it's this simpler style. It's not a lipo. Maybe it doesn't support the same features we're used to on our air packs. But let's go ahead and try it this way. You can definitely see what the voltage is, 9.09. There we go, there's our smart data. 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And there you go, there's your information, okay? And then I can go in here to the storage voltage. Looks like storage voltage is, well, that's weird. That does not look correct or normal, but I'll just take your word for it. And let's do auto storage is off. Doesn't look like it's an option. Okay, so different on a ground vehicle pack. But either way, it does definitely support smart stuff, which is nice. So I guess for now, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna charge it right here. In fact, let's go ahead and break it out, show you how hard it is to get out or not hard, okay? I like that assembly, it looks pretty simple. Of course, it's not, I don't like having to feed those each time, but we've got a nice piece of foam down here to receive the battery. And then this little cup will allow the lead to come out if you put it that way. See how it's got that kind of cut out? Mm-hmm. That's nice. Okay, so let's plug this into the S155, which is the one I recommend for this type of application. It's just a cheaper charger, but it's gonna do like all the stuff that the bigger ones do, with the exception of only going to 4S. Now there is no balance lead on this because it's a smart battery. So we're just gonna plug that in and it's gonna initiate the smart charge, okay? There you go, pretty simple stuff. And it's gonna show you your percentage, and then also it's gonna populate some other stuff here. So if we wanna get down there right on top of it, we can see what's going on. And there's your cell count. It's gonna show the internal resistance at some point. It takes a minute to populate that, if it does. And you can see how well or not well it's balanced in this case. Okay, so there you go. And if you wanna use press and hold play, that brings you to all these different settings. You can change the current with which it's gonna charge. And you can go into battery history and see all sorts of good stuff, okay? But as you can see, it's still charging because it's still at 1 amp. And it says charge capacity, time remaining 3 hours.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I hope it's not actually 3 hours. But either way, just so you guys know, that's what it looks like. So we are going to look at this. And then, by the way, what we'll probably do real quick is we'll show you right now a 5,000 milliamp hour, 7.4 volts. That'd be 2S, 30C pack. This would be a hard pack, so it's like more for cars than it is for airplanes. If you have an airplane, you're using hard packs in there. This is a Gen 1 because it's still got the balance lead, but it's still a smart pack. So we'll drop that in there, just show you how amazing that fits. And of course you can pass this right through. So 5,000 will fit no problem. And then this is just a really thought out, really well thought out setup. Everything fits perfectly. That is if you're using the right battery. Now, just some of you guys, I know you're screaming at the TV or the cell phone or whatever and saying, but what about my other dumb batteries? Well, let's grab a dumb battery. Let's grab one that's, this is 3300 4S. So obviously it's bigger than what you would normally put in here. But let's just see if that fits in there. This is a soft pack, so it'd be for like an airplane. And this one happens to be an Arrma's battery. I know some of you guys are asking. So let's just plop it in there. As you can see, even on a 4S size, you're totally fine. So again, bigger than what we would normally recommend on a car this size. But then if you had a 2200, 2S, you could definitely get that in there. And then I don't know if I have any 2S's in that size, so I'm not even gonna dig for them right now. But just that being said, at 5,000, let's actually see on the smart XBC battery checker, see what we got for charge. So 7.9, so we're at 61%. Now, why is this at 61%? I haven't used it yet. It's because it auto discharges, and that's one of the biggest advantages of the smart batteries, because a discharge battery is gonna be safe. And I'm just gonna show you something real quick. Look at this. See this? You can also charge this on the S120 as well, just to show you. And then you're gonna get feedback from that as well once it starts. Okay, so it might take a second. There it goes. So whatever that means. So we'll just let that charge, and then we're gonna let this one charge, and it's at 82%. So obviously 3 hours is not correct. So it must need some extra assistance on coming up with a good estimate. So maybe just to set this one up, we can go ahead and set it up on this battery because we know it's a little bit further along and we're gonna be using that to run it. We don't wanna mislead you guys. We never do that here on Brian Phillips RC. What we do is we show you the way it comes out of the box as best we can, whether it's a car or a truck or a helicopter or a VTOL or whatever it is. And then if we do anything kind of out of the ordinary that's unusual, we're gonna make sure that we clarify that so you know what we're getting into. And if we have to repair stuff, we always share what we do. You see how I got that balance lead tucked in there? That's a nice little trick you can do. And then also, what does this say? Read all manuals first. Okay, so hold on. I have a
good thing we did that already.
Sneaky suspicion. I was just gonna, dang it, it fell right off.
Some good afternoon reading.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so that being said, we can plug this in and it's gonna power everything up. Is there a power switch on this? There is an on-off. It's currently in the off switch. There's like a neoprene cover over that, so it's gonna be a water resistant cover. That does not mean it's waterproof, guys. It might be water resistant, but don't drive it underwater. Okay, so pretty sweet. Can't wait to see this thing go. I love the suspension. It's definitely working. Very good. Okay, so let's power this thing on and see what we get. Now remember, this is just the unbox portion of the video, but really at some point, we're gonna be outside checking this out in mere moments, but we do this in, okay, left, right. That is huge amounts of throw. Look at this, the cutout wheels allow for even more play there. Don't stick anything you want chopped off in there. That's pretty good. And then full discrete controls. Definitely has a little bit of power going on there. That's exciting. Just see if I can get all the way around this thing. I don't know if I can. Oh yeah, I can. That thing feels like it's eager. It's very eager. Let's try going over the soap pump real quick here. Oh yeah, let's maybe not break it. So as you can see, we've got definitely good control and even at low speeds, which is exciting. So we're gonna go ahead and get this battery charged up and we'll be right back outside. If you guys wanna help support Brian Phillips RC and you like what we do here with the long format content where we show you all the good and bad, then what we want you to do is check out the links in the video description below if you're interested in this product. When you buy it, we get small commissions from the companies we work with, and that way we can bring more content to you, and then we can help increase sales for these companies that we do work with when you do like stuff. But again, this is something we always say, if you don't like this particular product for whatever reason it is, whether you just don't like the brand or you don't like the color, you don't like the finish, you don't like the speed, you don't like the fit, you don't like whatever. We don't ask you to buy stuff that you don't want, but when you do want something and you decide to make a purchase, buy it from our links. You'll help support our family and support the channel, which is what we're trying to do, is then bring back value to you, and then everybody wins. But if you want to be a Patreon, we have Patreons already, and there's links down below, just below the link for this ready to run truck. We'll also link to this upgraded battery, this 5000 2S, and that will be down there as well. You might want to just double check if you're interested in Gen 2 versus Gen 1. Just keep that in mind. We'll have a link with search results for you there, and you can check out whichever one you like better. And definitely come back for more, but don't forget to click the bell for notifications and subscribe, obviously. Also, we have PayPal as another option if you don't want to become a Patreon, because that is a monthly support thing. And one last thing, if you leave comments below, we've been having a hard time keeping up, but just one little, we can't say that it's a benefit on Patreon, because then that would cause value-added taxes to be added overseas. And so we just don't list it as a benefit at all. But if you're on Patreon, you end up getting our attention a little bit quicker because of the way the platform works. So we do answer as many comments as we can get to, but it's hard for us to keep up. So if you guys really want to get a hold of us, there's Patreon, gives you a little bit easier access there. At least, you know, we see it before. So it doesn't necessarily mean we always get back to those comments immediately either, but we do our best. And so for those of you that are already supporting us on Patreon, we really appreciate you. It's really cool that you're part of this team, and we do appreciate you. So, but for the rest of you that aren't yet, we hope someday you will be. And these things are super fun to bring for you on Brian Phillips RC. So we hope you enjoy the content, and we hope you'll be back for more. Obviously, we got more fixed wing action, heli action, quad action, all that stuff. And this is just getting rolled into the mix. And so we really appreciate you guys bearing with us. As you know, we're kind of attached to airplanes, as you may have noticed. But that doesn't mean we don't love the cars too, the trucks, all the different off-road stuff. There's so many fun things in this RC habit, and we want to bring it all to you here on Brian Phillips RC. So thanks for watching.